जय भीम फ्रेंड्स, जय भीम, जय फूले, जय कांशीराम, जय भीम. Yes. First and foremost, I'd also like to apologize. Just also not that fluent in Hindi, so I'd like to speak in English, and I hope you bear with me. I just hope that whatever message that I've brought from Hyderabad Central University to ask for your solidarity in our fight, not just for justice for Rohit, but our fight against the larger caste discrimination that is happening in the country. Let's all stand united. Let's fight against this Brahmin fascists, this Brahminical system that is ruling us, that has been ruling us for so many centuries. Again, what I'd like to say is I thank this Bhim Yug mission, Ambedkar mission, Kadam sir. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here. I thank Nitin Mishram sir for giving me this opportunity. I also thank my brother Amar Khade, who was the first person who told me about this event here, who said that, I as a student coming from Hyderabad Central University should narrate to the people out here what kind of discrimination is happening within the institutions of higher learning in the country, all over the country. And we should not sit quiet. We have to make our voices heard. On this occasion, when we are celebrating or commemorating the contributions of the preeminent liberators, Bahujan liberator Mahatma Phule, of our father Baba Saheb Ambedkar, I'm so grateful to the contributions that have been made by them. Because without their contributions, without their struggle, today I as a woman, as somebody coming from a scheduled tribe community, as somebody coming from a peripheral state of Assam, I would not have been here sharing my thoughts with you. I am always grateful, and grateful to the contributions, to the struggle, to the sacrifices that they made their entire lives so that people like us can come here and speak. They gave voice to the voiceless for people like us coming from such peripheral regions, from oppressed communities who have been oppressed for centuries. Now, what I'd like to say is, I believe all of you have been following what has been happening in Hyderabad Central University. I'd just like to give you a gist of what is happening, and if you want to know more, you can always follow us on the Joint Action Committee page, because I'm also a member of the Bahujan Students Front I'm the General Secretary, President General Secretary of Bahujan Students Front, and I'm also an active member of the Joint Action Committee for Social Justice in Hyderabad Central University. We'd like that you follow us and contribute to, not just contribute, it's not just contribution, we are fighting together for justice. I'd like to tell you what is happening in Hyderabad Central University, and this is not happening only, this is not the first instance when a Dalit scholar, when a brilliant Dalit boy was mercilessly murdered by the casteist Brahminical institution of Hyderabad Central University. This is not the first time. This is in fact the 10th time that it has happened. And it is unfortunate that it has taken us so long for us to raise our voices. We should have done this a long time back. Had we done it a long time back, we would not have been crying over Rohit's demise today. I myself, along with some friends of mine, we visited all the other parents whose children in Hyderabad Central University were institutionally murdered by that casteist institution, by the casteist institution of Hyderabad Central University. All of these students had to lose their lives because they were discriminated on the basis of their caste. There is one instance of a boy named Senthil Kumar. He comes from a scheduled caste community from Tamil Nadu. They are basically pig breeders. His is the first generation. His parents are illiterate. This boy, Senthil Kumar, was the first person from his family, from his entire community in fact, to have ever reached Hyderabad, to have ever reached an institution of higher learning. And what happens to him in Hyderabad Central University? He was denied a supervisor. He was not given marks. He was humiliated because of his caste, because of his identity. Ultimately, the boy, he killed himself because of all the humiliation that he went through. I mean, our people, backward castes, scheduled castes, our scheduled tribes and minorities, our Muslim brothers and sisters, we have undergone humiliation we undergo humiliation at an everyday level. And we think that education is the only means for us to gain some social mobility, for us to redeem ourselves from this humiliation. But then again we come to the higher institutions of higher education, and we have to face the same. First and foremost, what happens in all these institutions, and I'm not talking only about Hyderabad Central University in particular, it happens in educational institutions, central universities almost always, in all over the country. We come and then you are asked, okay, so you have come under quota, you have come under reservation. That means we are less intelligent and less capable than this general category people. What kind of logic is that? Baba Saheb Ambedkar never called it reservation. He said that it is rational resource sharing, and we need not be ashamed about it, because it is not a charity that this government is giving us. Our forefathers fought for it. It is our every right. It is our very right. But then we are humiliated for that. In our educational institutions, that is what happens. First and foremost, oh, you are the people who are coming under reservation. You are less brilliant, less intelligent than your general category counterparts. That is the first thing that happens in all these educational institutions. Second thing, I am judged on the basis of my identity. Rohit spoke about that. He said his identity had been, his existence had been reduced to his immediate identity. My intelligence will be based on my ethnicity, on how I look like. I look like somebody who comes from a scheduled tribe, or you look like somebody who comes from a scheduled caste, or you are a Muslim. That means that you're automatically less intelligent than your Savarna counterparts. What logic is that? This is the kind of discrimination that we are facing in Hyderabad, in institutions of higher learning in the country today. Third thing, even our food habits that has been censored by the state. In all the hostels, why are we not provided, why is there a certain dietary restriction? Why should I be ashamed of eating beef? Why should I be ashamed of eating anything for that matter? But then that kind of humiliation is also shown, I mean, we have to face that kind of humiliation also in all these institutions. There are many institutions in the country where you are not supposed to take even non-vegetarian fare meal as a tiffin. What is all this? We are living in a democratic country or not? In our hostels, in Hyderabad Central University, in Osmania University in Hyderabad, we have challenged these dietary restrictions. We have had beef eating festivals. We have had Mahishasur, again that's a cultural assertion on our part, Mahishasur festival. And what are these people sitting, these Brahmins calling it? They call it anti-national, they call it extremist, they call it casteist. What is wrong in asserting our own culture? What is wrong in asserting our own dietary habits? In that way, they are asserting their own dietary habits on us. Why am I supposed to eat potato, aloo, whatever sabzi, whatever they eat, or paneer for that matter, when my body, I think, is biologically, better made for having non-vegetarian diet? This is the kind of discrimination that goes on. You are humiliated on the basis of all these factors. Another thing that I wanted to also say was, there was one particular instance that I want to mention. There is a professor in Hyderabad Central University. He's a Brahmin professor. And what he did is, he lives in the faculty quarters, and what he did is, he built a well of his own within the premises of the campus. Do you know why? His problem was, he did not want to have community water because it comes through Dalit homes, because it comes through tribal homes, because it comes through Muslim homes. This is the mentality of the professors teaching in Hyderabad Central University. What kind of education can they give to our children? This is the kind of systemic and structural modes of discrimination that happens in education, in institutions of higher learning. And these are the same reasons, these are the same factors that led to the demise of our dear friends in Hyderabad Central University. Not just Hyderabad Central University, there are many such institutional murders happening all over. I'd also like to speak about Delta Meghwal, our Bahujan sister from Rajasthan. Very brilliant child, very brilliant girl. The Savarnas, the Brahmins could not see that. Because us tribals, Dalits, Muslims, backward castes, we are not supposed to raise our voices in front of them. We cannot assert our rights in front of them. Once we do that, we should be killed. We should be silenced. And that is what happened with Delta. I was extremely when I heard of what happened to Delta, what I was reminded of is what you call the politics of body, which we study. She was a brilliant girl, brilliant woman. She could have been so much more. She could have contributed so much to our movement. These people, they cannot see that happening. They will have to silence her voice. And that is what they did to her. A brilliant child like that, she has to go and clean all the hostel rooms. If that is not casteism, what is? And later, she was raped. She was made to, after rape, she was made to write a letter where she had to admit that it was consensual, when even when it was not. And something which aghasts me is, after her murder, when her body was found, her body was taken away in a garbage tank, in a garbage truck. What does that imply? Where does such mentality come from? Whose are the minds who are working behind such base and atrocious activities in the country? We have to question that. In the same way, in Hyderabad Central University also, when our 5 Dalit research scholars, including Rohit Vemula, when they were given disciplinary action for whatever happened with Sushil Kumar, the president of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, it was a minor scuffle that could have been solved very easily. And there is clear evidence that there was no physical assault. Even the first proctorial committee and the first executive council report said that they could not find any evidence of physical assault against done on Sushil Kumar, the ABVP president of HCU. But he goes and files a report saying that he was beaten up so badly that he had to undergo an appendix operation. That is not even possible. There is no logic behind that. I think if you are hit by an elephant, probably you'll have to go for an appendix operation. No amount of beating can get a person to get appendix overnight. These are clear lies, baseless allegations. In fact, the first executive council report that came out, that only disciplinary action that they took against both the parties, against the ABVP students as well as our 5 Dalit research scholars, including Rohit Vemula, was that they should be given a warning so that such activities are not repeated in the future. But this person, Sushil Kumar, he goes and then he complains, like any other crybaby. He goes and then he complains to his family, who are again BJP leaders in, not leaders, politicians in Telangana. They go and report it to their higher authorities sitting, all the chaddiwalas who are sitting there in Delhi. And the report that they write is, there are anti-national activities going on, there are casteist activities going on, there are extremist activities going on. I'd like to question them, do you know what is nation? Do you know what is there even a law called an anti-national law that you can say that anti-national activities are going on? So whatever is against BJP is becoming anti-national today. Anyway, coming back to what I was saying, so after that what happened, there were 5 letters written by MHRD, written by Manusmriti Irani. There were 5 letters written to Hyderabad Central University Administration, to VC, Vice Chancellor, present Vice Chancellor, who as of now, he has no moral authority to be Vice Chancellor of Hyderabad Central University, but still, he is still hiding somewhere in the campus. 5 letters were written. I have copies of those 5 letters. I've seen them myself. These were leaked. 5 copies written by the MHRD to take action against these elements. These anti-national elements, these extremist elements, and these casteist elements. And what casteist, what anti-national, what are we doing in the campus? We are only conducting beef festivals. We are celebrating our tribal leader Mahishasur. We are celebrating Ambedkar Jayanti. But these, according to them, are casteist, extremist, and anti-national. And hence, Appa Rao, along with his cohorts in BJP, they took action. And you know what kind of disciplinary action was taken against these 5 Dalit research scholars? It was social boycott. They were expelled from their rooms. They were expelled from their hostel rooms. They are not supposed to be seen anywhere near the administration building. They are not supposed to be seen near hostels, in Shopcom. That is a common gathering where all of us, all the students sit in the evening for tea and dialogue or discussions. You are not supposed to be seen in any public place. Think about it. Where does this idea come from? Doesn't it come from the idea of the same casteist idea, the same Brahminical idea of untouchability? So if this is not casteist, what is? And yet they dare accuse us of practicing casteism in the campus.
Manusmriti in modern forms.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Amar Bhai. Manusmriti in modern forms. You can go to any central university in the country today, you will see Manusmriti only in modern form. Of course, we have a class 11 pass HRD minister sitting out there in the center, so I think that was bound to happen. No, we have to reflect on it. Social boycott, that's a medium of punishment. Social boycott. How can we accept this in a country like India? This is not their India. This is our India, which Baba Saheb Ambedkar, which the likes of Mahatma Phule have built for us. This is not their India. How dare they say that this is their India? What right does it give them for them to say that it is their India? It is our India. This is our forefathers who have built this nation from scratch, who have brought the Bahujan nation together. We have to challenge that. And I request all of you to think about all this. I just gave you a glimpse of what is happening, and I would not like to take any more of your time. If it was possible, I could have spoken all night. But then, the conversation would never end. But I just wanted to put forth a certain points. how discrimination works in institutions of higher learning. That is what I just wanted to put forth. Because Rohit is not the only case. There have been so many Rohits in the past, in my own campus. And if we go back and if we find out, there must have been so many more. Students coming from backgrounds. We are not first generation literate, we are not second generation, third generation literates. This is the first time. I am the only one from my community to have been studying in Hyderabad Central University. No, I just wanted to point out that after suffering all humiliations, all sorts of discrimination, all centuries of oppression, we have come this far. But these people cannot break us. We will not allow them to break us. Our forefathers have not taught us to be broken so easily. We will fight back. And we will fight together. Because whatever is happening in the Hyderabad Central University, we have had so much support from people all over the country, from our Bahujan sisters and brothers, from Ambedkarites all over the country. It gives us hope that we can rebuild the nation from where Baba Saheb had started. We will rebuild it again. These people might try to destroy it, but we will rebuild it again. I only ask for your support in the movement. We cannot restrict it only to a students' movement. And it is not. It's a Dalit, Bahujan, Ambedkarite movement. And we have to take this forward. With this, I'll stop here. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to me patiently. Jai Bhim.